A new Dragon Ball Super movie this time takes place in Universe 11, and we will have nothing more and nothing less as the central theme of the movie, Top's transition to becoming a Hakushin, body and soul. Along with them, the Z fighters will be present, Goku, Broly, and Gohan. What will be the development of this story? Stay tuned and watch the entire video. Be sure to leave your like, subscribe, and activate the bell. And this superhero trend is on the rise in Dragon Ball Super. Gohan, Trunks, and Goten in their hero modes. Who do we think of when we talk about this? If you said the Pride Troopers, you're right. And since Trunks and Goten had their highlights, now is the time for other heroes to step into action. This time, the Pride Troopers of Jiren will be in a new movie, marking the beginning of the saga in their universe, and what better way to address this movie than with unity? This will strengthen their bonds, like a training at this level for Gohan, and also for Broly, who along with Jiren has enormous hidden power. This would be an amazing fan service, plus the potential to mark a rematch of Goku against Jiren, and all that and much more. Gohan, Broly, Jiren, Top, along with the entire Pride Troopers will unite to combat evil and show the full power of justice that unites them, in a setting where one faces and lives in combat with beasts, not only external, but also internal ones. Together, they will find ways to overcome this adversity, which they both have in common, a sad past, or a beast that has divided them at some point in their lives. They will then unite their experiences and, with that, become even more complete warriors. The strength that dwells in each one is emerging directly from the shadows, and with a touch of pride in being part of this justice, each one will play their role. What will be the bigger reason for Gohan and Broly to pursue this path? A training for the future. And who knows, maybe Gohan is even wanting to build his own team of superheroes. We have several open ends in the manga that could be addressed in the Universe 11 movie, and regarding the Tournament of Power, we will certainly have a part 2. Many of the strongest warriors from the first tournament will participate in the second, and Jiren is one of the main names. But before the second Tournament of Power is realized, there are more issues to be seen first. Vegeta visiting planet Sadala, continuing his redemption arc. In terms of battles, both Jiren and Goku have experience, and we will get to know more about what Broly and Jiren have in common, and what Jiren can also teach him. And in the midst of all of this, we will see how Top transforms from a mortal being to a god. This transition and how it is done, there will, of course, be plenty of fights, and maybe there's someone in this universe who would like to challenge Top and take his place. That would be something great for the movie. A movie set in Universe 11 would be one of the most impactful and strategic narratives in Dragon Ball Super, bringing back iconic characters and expanding on the franchise's fundamental concepts. Top's transition to a true god of destruction would be one of the central events of the story, revealing the consequences of his choice during the Tournament of Power. He abandoned his philosophy of heroic justice in favor of absolute power, and now, his journey to master this new position could be explored in detail. The training he would undergo with Belmod and other divine entities would reveal secrets about the gods of destruction that have never been explained before. However, this shift in Top's stance wouldn't be accepted by everyone. Some members of the Pride Troopers might reject this new approach, creating internal conflicts that question whether he should really assume this role, or if his mindset of destruction would take him away from the concept of justice. This division within the group would create tensions that culminate in a great event, forcing Top to prove his true worth as a god of destruction. Goku, Broly, and Gohan would be essential pieces in the plot, each for different reasons. Goku, after his clash with Jiren in the Tournament of Power, still feels there's much more to learn from him. This reunion wouldn't just be a simple fight, but a deeper dive into Jiren's philosophy of power. During the tournament, Jiren saw for the first time that strength isn't everything, and maybe now his approach to combat has evolved. Goku, for his part, would be looking to refine his Ultra Instinct, and a duel against Jiren in Universe 11 could be exactly the challenge needed to reach a new level. The fight environment would be completely different from the Tournament of Power, allowing both to test their abilities in conditions where they wouldn't need to hold back. The result would be a devastating battle that would lead Goku to discover new secrets about Ultra Instinct and its practical application in prolonged fights. Broly, still trying to understand his own strength, would find an unexpected purpose in Universe 11. The Pride Troopers operate under a philosophy of protection and justice, something completely different from the brutality he's known throughout his life. His wild instincts would be tested by fighters who, although powerful, are disciplined and focused. He would have to learn to channel his energy without relying on emotional outbursts, finding a new fighting style based on strategy and restraint. His development alongside Jiren, Top, and other elite warriors could unlock a new form of his legendary transformation, something that reflects a balance between instinct and pure technique. Throughout this journey, Broly would realize that his strength doesn't have to be merely a reflection of anger, but a tool that, when used correctly, can lead to true mastery over oneself. Gohan, on the other hand, would have a completely different motivation for being in Universe 11. He has always been fascinated by superheroes and the concept of justice, something that perfectly aligns with the philosophy of the Pride Troopers. During his stay, he could learn about the true role of the warriors who protect the universe, drawing inspiration from their training methods and perhaps even adopting a new path as a fighter. His evolution wouldn't just be physical, but also philosophical, developing techniques and a new fighting style that aligns with his heroic identity. He could discover that, by combining his power with a more strategic and refined approach, he can become a warrior who transcends the limitations of brute strength. Amid this learning, a crisis might arise, perhaps an unexpected attack from a threat that challenges the entire structure of Universe 11 and forces Gohan to show that his vision of justice can be applied in a cosmic-level battlefield. The main villain of the movie could be a forgotten entity from Universe 11 itself, someone who was discarded for their extreme approach and who now returns to restore a distorted form of absolute justice. This antagonist could pose a threat to both the Pride Troopers and the Gods of Destruction, putting Top in a difficult position where he must decide whether his new philosophy truly works. For Goku, Broly, and Gohan, this enemy would be a challenge that forces them to reach new limits. At the height of the battle, Jiren would finally show his true power, facing the villain in a clash that would push the universe to its limits. With all the warriors in action, including Top, Goku, Broly, and Gohan, the fight would become one of the grandest ever seen, with each character bringing their abilities into a battle that would determine not only the fate of Universe 11, but also the future of their own powers. The movie ends with a simple, yet powerful scene. Top, now dressed in ceremonial robes, is officially introduced as the next god of destruction for Universe 11. He looks at the empty throne, feels the weight of the responsibility, and smiles, a contained, resigned smile, but not defeated. He finally understands that destruction is also an act of love when done to protect everything that is still worth keeping. This work, in essence, would be the missing link between raw power and symbolic power in Dragon Ball. It would show that there are different ways of being strong, that justice is multifaceted, and that even gods must understand the value of choices. It would be, at the same time, a celebration of the evolution of characters like Gohan and Broly, and a rare deep dive into secondary figures like Top and Jiren, who deserve more than just good fights. They deserve history, dilemmas, and destinies. If this movie existed, it would not only expand the horizons of the multiverse, but would solidify Dragon Ball Super as a work that knows how to evolve with its audience, bringing reflections, mythology, and emotion in just the right measure for those who grew up alongside these warriors. For we also know the weight of being part of the Pride Troopers, a group of heroes who carry the weight of justice on their shoulders. Led by Jiren, a warrior who knows more about the pain of loss than most, every battle they face is a desperate attempt to bring some peace to a constantly tumultuous universe. Top, with his serious demeanor and his devotion to duty, knows that justice has a price, and often, that price is paid with one's own heart. After his confrontation with Vegeta, Top emerges as a new warrior, strengthened by his experiences and the harsh battle. Dispo, the fast one, runs not only to defeat enemies, but also to escape the shadows of a past that haunts him. A hint: don't be fast like Dispo. Enjoy the whole video, and just like these warriors, united by destiny and determination, they fight in a mixture of sadness, power, and sacrifice. May you always be with us, and with every strike, may it not only be a note in the symphony of justice, but also an echo of your own loneliness and hopelessness. In the end, each would leave with significant evolution. Top would solidify as god of destruction, Goku would refine Ultra Instinct, Broly would find a new path for his strength without depending on rage, and Gohan would define a new phase for his heroic legacy. The movie would be a celebration of the development of these characters, bringing intense action and revelations about fundamental concepts that are part of the Dragon Ball universe. The journey for power and justice never ends, and this movie would be an essential piece to show the next steps of the strongest warriors in the franchise. Do you think this story could be a milestone for the series? Jiren, who was once only the arms, representing the brute strength of the Pride Troopers, now represents unity and camaraderie, thanks to the influence of Son Goku. The friendship and respect between them brought a new light to Jiren's heart, making him realize that true power lies in collaboration and mutual trust. Gohan and Broly, who have their beasts within them, which Jiren and Top unleashed long ago, but now they themselves have learned to control, have this chance to see up close and learn from them. The Pride Troopers are not just a symbol of strength, they are a constant reminder that even the most powerful heroes carry invisible scars and face internal battles as tough as the external ones. In the end, it is the relentless pursuit of a better world that keeps them united, even when darkness threatens to swallow everything. Gohan and Broly, apprentices of the new Pride Troopers. What will they learn? What will the result of all this be? Let's dig deeper into the roots of Jiren, Top, and the Pride Troopers, along with those of Gohan and Broly. Only then will we understand why this would be the best path for their training. In the android's arc in Dragon Ball Z, during the fight against Cell, Android 16 tells Gohan that he needs to unleash his anger and embrace his true power to defeat Cell. Android 16 realizes that Gohan is holding back his power, afraid of what it could cause if he unleashed it completely. Essentially, what Gohan lacks is the determination to accept and use his anger to reach his true potential. Number 16 sacrificed his life to awaken this anger in Gohan, resulting in Gohan transforming into Super Saiyan 2 for the first time and eventually defeating Cell. This lesson became a crucial part of Gohan's development as a character, teaching him to balance his peaceful side with a need to fight when the situation calls for it. The Pride Troopers would teach that it is not only acceptable, but necessary to fight for justice. They believe that protecting the innocent and maintaining order in the universe is a sacred duty. For them, the fight for justice is a noble and essential cause, even if it means facing great challenges and making personal sacrifices. This philosophy could be a valuable lesson for Gohan and Broly, who carry their own burdens and powers. Learning that fighting for justice is not a sin but a responsibility could help them better understand their own journeys and purposes. If Gohan fully embraced the philosophy of the Pride Troopers, he could see the fight for justice in a new light. This, combined with his immense potential, could indeed open the possibility of him becoming a candidate for God of Destruction. His desire to protect the innocent and uphold justice could align perfectly with the responsibilities of a God of Destruction, who must maintain balance in the universe. If Gohan embraces this new philosophy and reaches his full potential, he could truly become one of the most powerful and just warriors, with a new understanding of his role in the multiverse. While one becomes the god, Gohan crowns himself the hero of his planet.